Hi, it's Glenys Cox here, author of 101 Ways to Make Money with Horses and director of Online Horse College. You know, recently someone asked me, what are the three main principles that I've used to be successful and that I would recommend others to be successful? I can come up with three principles, which are really strategies that I would encourage others to be successful. So people say to me, well, it's all right to write a book, 101 Ways to Make Money with Horses. This shows you what it takes, but how do you actually get there? What are the steps of getting there? So the first principle that I want to introduce to you is to begin with the end in mind. All right, know where you plan to be in 10 years' time, say. And then that way, at least you've got something to work towards. So begin with the end in mind. It's sort of like going out and deciding you're going to go for a trail ride. And you say to your friends, yep, I'll meet you, at 12 o'clock or whatever time it is, and we can have a picnic lunch. But you've got to know where your friends are going to be, and they've got to know where you're going to be. So rather than just, drifting, going out for a ride and never catching up with them, if you know where they're going to be, at least you can work towards that. So if you plan to ride at the Olympic Games, you might think that's a big, ambitious goal, but quite possible. Few people have done it before, so it's quite possible for you to do. It could be that you plan to have a great business within your local area, and that's quite possible. You could be the best business within your local area. It could be that you want to be successful with a very special horse that no one else has been successful with. Alright, so you've still got to have the end in mind before you even start your journey. One of my first qualifications as a riding instructor, I had a mentor coach, Brian Young from Crabbett Park in Sussex, and his mission, or he told me, he said it's all right to ride and care for your own horse because you know that you can, using the correct principles of riding, you can create empathy with your horse, you can understand the way that your horse thinks, and you can understand what makes them happy in the long term, that is going to give them a good and productive life. You know how to care for them properly and you know how to ride them correctly. So this is going to make your horse happy as a rider. But as an instructor, you can do so much more. You can go out and you can teach people how to ride for their horse correctly and how to care for their horse correctly and how to help the people around them, parents and partners that also help them with the horse. You can help all of those people. So it's not just a matter of helping, your own couple of horses, but helping all of your students and helping their horses. So that helps you create more happy horses. But then he said, teaching instructors take everything to a whole new level. It leverages your whole outlook that you can make so many more horses happy. So his mission was to improve the lives of horses throughout the world through the education of their riders and handlers. I thought, what a great mission. So now that I'm able to be in the position that I had planned to be in, many years ago, to help other instructors, I think, yep, this is really where I wanted to be. I really wanted to be able to help more horses throughout the world through the education of their riders and handlers. So if I can do that through more instructors and then they go on and help riders and handlers and make more horses happy, create the empathy that's needed with the horse and make more horses happy, then that's the mission that I've set out to do. And people ask me, how have I set that out? So the next principle is to plan your journey. All right, so you've worked out where you want to be in 10 years' time. That's great. Work out where you're going to be in 9 years' time, in 8 years' time, 7 years' time. So sort of work backwards a little bit and work it out year by year, how you need to chunk up those steps and how you're going to get there. Then once you've got the last, say, next 3 years, what you plan to achieve by the next 3 years, start to chunk it down then, month by month. So you're working out month by month what you need to achieve. And then within this year, work out week by week what you need to achieve by the end of each week to get to your 10-year goal. And then within the week, for the next, say, 3 months, you can work out even on a daily basis what you need to achieve to get to your goal. You might work out, if you're competing, you might work out your competitions. You might have already worked those out for the year. And then this leads us to the third principle. So the third principle is always ask yourself the big question. So the big question is, Is what I'm doing right here, right now, going to help me achieve my goal? And if it's not, then why are you doing it? Okay? If you're having a bit of a sleep in this morning because you don't want to get up early and ride, if you're having a late night out, you know it's going to affect your competition performance. If you don't do your study and you decide that you've got study that's due on time, you've got assignments due, and you decide that you're not going to do that because you'd rather do something that was just a bit more pleasurable in the short term, you're not really focused on your 10-year goal. So think about that. Everything you do, and you might ask yourself this question 100 times a day, 1,000 times a day. How is what I'm doing right now going to help me achieve my goal? And this is a question that you need to continually ask yourself. I can ask myself, how is what I'm doing right now, as in this video, going to help me to achieve my goal? I'm hoping that my mission is to improve the lives of horses throughout the world through the education of their riders and handlers. I'm hoping that someone else will take that mission on, and other instructors will take that mission on and say, yep, that's what I want to do as well. Okay, and then we can continually improve the lives of horses throughout the world through the education of their riders and handlers. So in summary, they're the three principles. Begin with the end in mind, plan your journey, and ask yourself the big question. So with those three, and of course my book, 101 Ways to Make Money with Horses, which can be downloaded for free at Online Horse College, I'm sure you can be a success within the horse industry.